Hi guys, right here we have the steak. I'm showing you what all I used to season the steak because it was already seasoned. This is New York strip steak. Just sprinkle a little bit on there. I don't measure how much I put on there. I just kind of cover the meat thoroughly. And it usually tastes very good when I do that. So that's how I do that. I preheat my oven to 350 degrees. I already have my potatoes in the oven baking. All right, here I am just cutting up my onion, preparing it for my steak. I like to cook my onion with my steak, and you'll see how I like to do that. You see my cutting board trying to run away from me as I cut the onion, but it's all good. The onion got cut. That's all that matters. And I'm just chopping up this onion right now while my cutting board trying to run. Be careful if you got a running cutting board and a sharp knife. All I'm going to say is be careful. Clearly, I'm not new to it. I'm true to it. Just saying. All right here I am seasoning my water. I do have a pound of snow crab leg that I will be adding to that water. And I'm just showing you here the seasonings that I'm adding to the water. I will have all the seasonings in the description box below. What I like to put into my boils whenever I am making seafood. Again, I how much I put in there. I just feel like go with what you know. You know how you want it to taste. You know what flavors you like on your seafood. So go with what you know. And yeah, that's how I like to do that. Also, just thinking, you could buy like the boil in the bag seasoning that comes together already, so you don't have to do this. But I personally like to season mine the way that I like to season it because I like for it to taste a certain type of way. So that's how I'm doing that. That Chipotle chili pepper, let me tell you something. That's a secret ingredient, okay? Throw some of that in there. Throw some of that in your butter sauce. I promise you won't regret it. And Kroger brand me, please. Any day. Parsley always makes food just look delicious. Doesn't taste like anything. But throw some parsley on there and it look like you did some. I'm going to be taking my whisk to stir that up with, get that all together. It took me a minute to find it. That's why I was gone for a little minute. But I'm just stirring that together, put it on medium-high heat, and get that water boiling, get it ready for my snow crab legs. All right, I like to use my Healthy Choice olive oil butter to cook my steak in. Also going to be adding some minced garlic to that. I absolutely love garlic, so I always kind of go overboard with garlic whenever I'm using it for anything. So I don't know if you like garlic the way that I like it, but I always tell people to cook things the way that you want to cook it. My steak was room temperature. I did season it. It sat out for probably like an hour. I just like for it to be very tender, and I like for it to get very, not really burnt, but kind of burnt whenever I sear it on the stove. I'm adding my onion here along with my garlic and butter. I'll also be adding a little bit of oil. You'll see me add that as well. And yeah, so I like to put that all together and actually let the pan get very hot before I add my steak, because like I said, I like for my steak to be kind of burnt. before, because I cook it on top of the stove. I sear it on both sides for about 5 minutes, and then I put it in the stove on 350 for about 7 to 10 minutes, just depending on how you want to cook it. Taking some of that onion and garlic with a little bit of butter and putting it on top of my steak as that cooks. I just like for my steak to be doused in onion. Oh, it's delicious. When that onion is all caramelized and whatnot, delicious. All right, so as you can see, I've already flipped over one steak. I love, love, love all of that smoke, for lack of better words, coming out of the pan with my steak. That is how I like for my steak to cook per side. I like for my steak to be very charred on both sides. My boyfriend and I both love for our steak to be that way. So, you know, you don't have to cook it 5 minutes on both sides. On about medium to high, really medium heat. Sorry. But I like for it to be charred, very charred on both sides. That's how we like it. All right, so I already have my broccoli on the stove. It is steaming. I put about a cup and a half of water in there and about 2.5 cups of broccoli. So that is definitely steaming. And my crab legs are in the boil and they're also cooking. I didn't show putting those in. Right now I'm about to put my steak in the oven on 350. That oven was hot, honey. It was hot. All right, so here I'm just showing you how I like to steam my broccoli. I don't put the top completely on, and I've put the top on top of my crab legs as well over there. As you can see, my steak is already taken out of the oven. Here I'm just creating my butter sauce for my crab legs, and you're gonna see the seasonings that I like to put in there. I did not measure this either because we didn't really have much butter left, so I was just really using what we had left. There go that garlic again. Can't get enough of the garlic. Never could get enough of the garlic. And I like to kind of mix that up a little bit before I put it in the microwave. I put that on 30 seconds in the microwave. All right, so I'm taking half a lemon and I'm squeezing all of what I can into that mixture. And I'm going to proceed with my seasonings. I periodically stir it up just to make sure it's all in there and doing the right things, honey. I'm pretty sure I put ground pepper in any and everything that I cook. Ground pepper, see that there goes that Chipotle chili pepper again. I'm trying to tell you something serious. But yeah, ground pepper is my best friend. Just saying. That parsley just to make it look good, you know, because it doesn't taste like nothing. Slap your mama. My boyfriend put me on that seasoning. Freaking delicious. Delicious. It's like Cajun and Creole and just a whole bunch of just stuff, just ready and willing, okay? I put a little bit of lemon pepper in there as well because I love for my seafood to have a very strong lemony taste. So yeah. And there I go, stirring it up, whipping the wrist. Ooh, pray for me. Oh, and I almost forgot the garlic powder, so I had to throw that in there at the end. Almost forgot her. I'm stirring it like I know what I'm doing. Ooh, I put that in the microwave on 45 seconds. I put the top on it, and I'm just kind of showing you what it looked like. All right, so I'm taking another half a lemon and just squeezing that over my snow crab legs. I told you I love lemon on my seafood. So as much as I can get, I put it on there. Kind of struggling with that lemon a little bit. Bear with me. I'm going to show you how I like to do my baked potatoes. Now, I usually cook them in the oven with aluminum foil, but we didn't have any. So I just put them in there, and I actually put oil on them. Usually I like to use extra virgin olive oil, but we did run out, so I just used a little bit of vegetable oil and a little bit of Himalayan salt, pink Himalayan salt. So I'm just putting some more of that healthy choice on there. And I'm doing 2 potatoes at a time. I like to do it all together because one at a time just takes too long. But I'm not really going to show that other one. I'm only going to show this one. I'm adding some of that pink Himalayan salt. That's tea, okay? Get you some of that salt. It's better for you. I mean, I rave about that salt. I really do love it. We've had this one that I have now for a while, and I use it a lot. So there we go with that ground pepper. Never ever forget. And each time I add something, I like to stir it in there just so the whole potato, with each bite, you can taste some of everything. So that's what I do. Literally everything I put in there, I stir it, and then I go to the next ingredient that I like to add to my baked potatoes. Oh, and I didn't say anything about how I kind of open it up just to make sure that I have all the inside of the potato exposed for the most part, so that I can make sure to get all of the ingredients worked up in there. Can't forget your bacon bits and your sour cream. Didn't have any chives, so I didn't add chives, but really didn't even need it. It was delicious just the way it was. Oh, look at that steak. Yes, for the steak. Okay, that steak was so tender and delicious, and it's so charred. Searing it really does a trick. If you like charred steak, but you still want it to be tender, first of all, get you a good cut of steak. That was New York thin sliced, I believe, New York strip steak. And it was so tender. You know, leave it out cooking in that butter. Heinz 57 sauce. I do not like A1 sauce. It tastes like beer to me. I mean, I could be the only one that feel that way, but A1 sauce definitely tastes like beer, and I don't like beer. So, oh, it was so good. And that is my broccoli. I didn't really show the broccoli because it's pretty self-explanatory. But there's the meal. Of course, gotta have my lemons, and guys, it was delicious. You should try it. Thank you so much for watching.